Today, we're going to be talking about my top 3 favorite stocks in the US stock market right now. These are 3 stocks that I expect to have huge upside potential, outperforming the market over the next few weeks, months, and even years to come. Now, all 3 of these stocks that will be mentioned in today's video all have very strong financials and guidance moving forward. So we're going to go ahead and focus more on the technical analysis side of things rather than the financial side of things. If you guys are looking for a financially focused video on these 3 stocks, let me know in the comments down below. And additionally, make sure you guys do join up in our free Discord, which is going to be linked in the description down below. There's over 500 plus profitable members over there, and it is 100% free for you guys to join today. So make sure you guys do not miss out on that opportunity. Let's go ahead and jump right into this video. Taking a look at our first ticker on today's list, we are going to have HOOD, better known as Robinhood Markets. Now, this is a company that is especially interesting because Bitcoin is pressing towards all-time highs, and with Bitcoin increasing in popularity, people are looking for apps to trade these cryptos, and one of the better apps out there is going to be Robinhood Markets. And not only have they expanded on their crypto trading, but they have done much more with stuff like Robinhood Legend coming out and putting out other things like being able to bet on NBA playoff games, which is absolutely insane that I can do that within my brokerage account. But looking at Robinhood here, you guys can see that we are in this very nice cup formation, and we have seen this before with Robinhood. As I do go over to the weekly chart here, you guys can see that we are in this macro cup and handle right here, looking like we're moving out of this handle move right now. Now, it looks like once we do break all-time highs of around $70, or sorry, previous highs of around $70. I guess we did make it up to $84 at one point, but I'll go ahead and count this as all-time highs for now. Once we do break all-time highs at around $67, we will see a strong push up to around $102, where I do think that we will see a little bit of a stagnation right there, and then from there we'll see our next wave higher to around that $126 to around $146 price target, which from today's prices is around 137%. From the current prices at all-time highs, that would still be around 118%, guys. And I have been in this name since my average price is around $40. I have around 200 shares of Robinhood, and that would put my average return at around a 250%, give or take about 10%. But nonetheless, that is a great return. A lot of our premium members have been in with average cost below mine at around $30 to $35. So that is looking absolutely great on Robinhood here. Now, with the current state of the market, I actually think that this is the best case scenario for Robinhood. Not only is Bitcoin towards all-time highs and we are seeing a lot of volume pushed through Bitcoin, but we're also seeing a lot of volume pushed through regular stocks like S&P 500, QQQ, and any individual holding within the market. Now, when we do see stuff like this, a lot of volatile periods, we are seeing a lot of people either buy the dip or sell off a lot of their stocks as they believe the market could see some more downturn. But nonetheless, all of those are going to be helpful trades that are going to be running up Hood's revenue, which has already increased well over 100% the last 3 years year over year, and they're expanding up to around 125% expected revenue growth this current year. We've also seen things like net income grow 84% last year and 227% the year prior, to give us almost a 500% increase over the last 5 years. Now that, guys, is just insane. We are seeing a growing company actually come through with their growth numbers, and I think that this can lead Robinhood much higher, seeing them almost double within the next 12 to 16 months in my personal opinion. If we are to see a market downturn, I honestly think this is going to be better for Robinhood. We will of course see a pullback in the short term, but I am highly confident that coming out of a market pullback or recession or crash or whatever you're going to call it, there will be a massive amount of money put into Robinhood from their customers and users, which is already currently sitting at an all-time high of around $268 billion. Now, those are crazy numbers. They're going to make commission on almost everything that gets put in. So that is going to be my thesis for where Robinhood is headed. And I do think that this is a great time to buy into some Robinhood as we are pressing towards all-time highs. I think we could see a very explosive move once we are to break all-time highs, seeing around $80 within maybe the next week or two. But my long-term target sits at around $146 to $126 over the next 12 months. Jumping into stock number 2 on our list, we are going to have another notable name in Oscar Health. Now, I was just looking at a metric that let me know how truly undervalued Oscar Health is, and that metric is going to be that Oscar Health is currently sitting on around $4.5 billion in cash. Now, looking at their market cap, they are worth around $3.37 billion. So, with their free cash flow alone, in hindsight, this company is technically worth what they make in free cash flow, not even talking about what they bring in revenues, net income, and any other side of the business. What they're sitting on in cash alone proves that this company is undervalued. Now guys, that is not even adding in the fact that they just posted numbers with revenue up 28% quarter over quarter and net income up 18% quarter over quarter as well, putting themselves up over 100% year over year in those two categories. Now, taking a look at Oscar Health here, we just had a great earnings report, and you guys can see this reflected in this nice earnings gap right here. I would love to see this hold and a press off of this. If we can see a bounce off of this, I think we head towards this fair value gap up by around $18 to $20. And then from there, we'll test around that $23 range, seeing if we can press out of there for our third wave extension. And guys, that third wave extension will take us all the way out of this cup and handle move up to around $45.19. which from our average buy price and currently where the market is sitting right now, that is going to be around a 206% return. And now from that wave 3 extension, we'll see a wave 4 pullback, probably towards the range of around $32.40 down to a low of around $28.46 at that 1618 extension, or sorry, retracement. And from there, we'll see that wave 5 extension all the way up to highs at around $64.51. Now guys, this is going to be a 336% gain from prices today. And I think that this can come in the next 16 to 24 months. I think that this wave 3 extension comes by the end of this year into around early next year, something by around February of 2026. I expect to be through our third wave extension. Now, before I do go ahead and show you guys the third stock on today's list, I do want you guys to go ahead and take a mental screenshot of this Oscar chart right here, this beautiful cup and handle, and very much the same with Robinhood, as we can see this nice cup and handle here. Obviously, this is a bit longer of a timeline, but I want you guys to look at how this is looking. It looks like we're about to press towards all-time highs. Same with Oscar. It looks like we could see that move up towards these prior highs where we could extend out on this cup and handle. Now, I do want you guys to go ahead and take a look at our third stock on the list. We're gonna go ahead and compare these to the other two here, where you guys can see Hims right here just looking beautiful in this cup and handle from about a year ago. You guys can see how comparable this is. Looking at this and then going ahead and taking a look at Oscar, these are two very, very similar charts. And going ahead and taking a look at the way that Hims played out, you guys can see since then we have seen an absolute uproar in this stock from those low prices at that extension all the way up to highs here. You guys can see that is about a 1300% return. Now, if you guys were thinking that Robinhood or Oscar's price targets were a little bit high, what would you guys do if I told you they were a bit conservative in comparison to this Hims chart right here? As you guys can see, this is ran around 1200% with a market cap still currently sitting at around $13 billion. Now, going back to Oscar here with a market cap currently sitting at around $3 billion, we could see much the same play out. This could actually play out about the exact same that Hims did, with prices going up to our fifth wave extension at around $64, where we saw Hims last fifth wave extension taking us up to around $73. Very much the same, maybe a few dollars here and there that are different, but nonetheless, these are very, very comparable stocks, and I do expect both of these to outperform over the next few months and years to come. Now, taking a look at Hims here, you guys can see that currently we are sitting in this nice little cup move. Another one of these beautiful cup moves that Hims continues to put up on the charts. And it looks like we are actually flagging out of this move, hopefully pulling us back down to around this $53 range, where I do want to look to add even more of this stock, where I do already own around 300 shares at an average price of around $27. Also, guys, going ahead and taking a look at our price range from where we went ahead and got our initial buy-ins at around $27.31. You guys can see right now we are up around 140%. Currently, I believe up around 120% as we have taken this small pullback. But nonetheless, guys, I do expect Hims to absolutely pump out of this recent cup right here. Now, taking a look at some of our targets here, I do have an intrinsic value sitting at $126 for this stock. This is a very common intrinsic value for most. I have seen a lot of charts where people are expecting much of the same, and as am I, as I do believe that where this company currently stands, it is definitely worth at least over $100, where our current 1618 extension sits at $103. And I do think that from there, we'll see a nice little pullback to around $91 to $85, possibly a little bit lower, even testing prior all-time highs at around $73 right here. But nonetheless, I do think that we do see much more out of this stock. I think that this thing can run all the way up to $103 within the next few weeks and months. This thing did 150% in about 2 weeks time. So that is letting me know that there is more room for this stock to run, and we could see this thing see around $100 by the end of the summer, which would be about a 279% return for me personally. And all the way up to our intrinsic value, that'd be about a 364% return overall. Guys, that would absolutely set up my portfolio. That would look so good for me, as I am currently already up around 120%. That 364% would do absolutely wonders for my portfolio, definitely taking it over that $100,000 mark, and I'm hopefully looking to see that by the end of this year into early 2026. But that is going to be the 3 stocks that I presented for you guys today. That is going to be HIMS, which is looking absolutely beautiful, pressing up towards around 126 at the high, where I do expect to see around $103 by the end of this year. I think that this next move takes us to around $80 to $85, and then from there we'll stagnate for a little bit and then push up to around $103 for our 1618 extension, where I'll be looking to offload about half my portfolio or half my position within HIMS, holding the rest out for around 126 and even higher. But that was HIMS right there. We also have Oscar, which is looking great up to its 3rd wave extension that is going to come by the end of this year, seeing at about a high of around $45. And much of the same with Hood, where we can expect a high pushing into the $100 mark at around 102, then 126, and then a high of around $146, coming in with the next around 12 to 18 months out of these beautiful cup and handle moves that we have seen from all 3 of these stocks in today's video. Alright guys, and that is going to go ahead and wrap it up for me in today's video. If you guys like the stocks I talked about and the charts that I shared, make sure you guys do like and subscribe so you guys do not miss out on the next big play that we call out. And additionally, make sure you guys do join up in our free Discord. Link for that is going to be in the description down below. You guys can go ahead and jump in there for free today, asking me for any chart, ticker, or thesis that you may need, or just go ahead and join up, chat with us, have some fun, and get in today. Do not miss out on the next play, and I will see you guys in the next video.